Hi, everyone. Welcome. We are so glad you're here for this masterclass called the Consistency Code.
We are glad you are here.
Yeah, and we do want to invite you to step into this moment and just get grounded and uh, come into this moment, forgetting everything prior to this and everything that's coming up after this. And let's just be here together, sharing in this moment of time, sharing our energy by just softening your gaze, closing your eyes, feeling where you're seated or where you're standing. Allow yourself to be here with us fully.
Fully present.
Okay. Yes. So we just want to say most women don't fail at wellness because they're inconsistent. They fail or are not as successful as they'd like to be because they're trying to live within someone else's plan. Huh. So we're here
It's,
to kind of change our way of thinking around that.
yeah, this is definitely not about willpower or about discipline. It's about your best alignment.
Yes.
No, and there is
Who
no one
you
right
are.
way.
Correct. So before we dive into our mission, we want to let you know who we are. I'm Teresa Lisum,
And I am Diane Amelia Read, and
and
together
together
we're
we're the
the Vitality
Vitality
Continuum.
Continuum. Yay! That was pretty good.
That was good. Teresa and I merged our two coaching styles to sort of create a 1+1 = 3 synergy in our holistic approach to align consistent self-care and wellness as a lifestyle and one that matches your life, not something that you try to discipline yourself into.
Right. Because that's too much work. So we want to share our mission with you. We believe women change the world by loving themselves first and then bringing their aligned, authentic, and fully energized selves to everyone and everything else for optimal impact.
Yeah, that's our belief, and our mission is to help high achieving midlife women create a custom, sustainable, wellness-based lifestyle so that they can pour into their responsibilities and into their passions without depleting themselves.
So we like to share what you're going to get from this masterclass or what you'll see us speak about or listen to us speak about. We're going to help you identify your personal habit kryptonite, design habits that feel natural, not forced. They're more in line with who you are.
Yeah. And then
Create aligned,
go for it.
create your aligned habits to sustain you in real life, your real life, and make decisions as your future self, not your frazzled present self.
Last one's super fun, especially. Many,
I'll
many
pass
women,
this over to you, Dana.
yeah, many women reduce their regular exercise during middle age by up to 40%, often due to competing life demands. And in this chapter, you might be both a parent and a child taking care in two directions while running a home, you know, doing your business or working your job, whatever it is. And it's really super common for women to fall to the bottom of their very own to-do list.
Yes, yes. And 1 in 5 women admit they would feel guilty, selfish, anxious if they took even 1 hour off for themselves. Now, is
Yeah.
that 1 hour
And
in a
I
week or 1 hour in a month or one
right.
hour every quarter or 1 hour a year?
And something Teresa and I have talked about is the sort of backhanded compliment that women often get, which is, oh, she is so selfless. And I know it is meant in a kind way, but that very word selfless means without self. And so we're walking this weird line of wanting to care for ourselves, but also kind of loving the ego stroke of being complimented in this very backhanded way. We do like caring.
Mhm.
We just don't want to do it without including ourselves.
Right. So I think we all know that and understand that intellectually, but to actually put it in action is a different story. But we also, so we've heard the benefits of self-care. We that maintain a consistent self-care routine actually grow their businesses 27% faster than those who neglect their personal well-being.
Definitely.
Okay, so with that being said, this is a good time to think about where you want to be a year from now. What would it look like with your coaching business running smoothly with self-care woven in? So we're just going to take a few minutes to imagine that.
Yeah.
Excuse me. You
And
want to
if
lead
you
us on
like,
that, Amelia?
well, yeah. So, um, one of the things that Teresa and I have learned is super powerful is this, to not only think about, well, it would look like this, and I would have this many clients, and I would have an hour to my day, just for my exercise and maybe preparing some healthy meals. That is all great. But if you can lean into the feeling of what that feels like how healthy you feel, how put the visceral sensation of that in your body. It's like, wow, I've got clients and I'm in the best shape of my life. And I just had a doctor's appointment and she said I'm in great shape and I feel so good. My energy's popping. If you can feel in to what that would feel like a year from now, it adds potency. It becomes magnetic. So
So,
I'd love for you, if you don't, if I think we can take the time, if it's okay with you, Teresa, and you're okay sharing, Nadia, what's a sentence or two that might feel like for you?
before we do that, Diane, Amelia, let's just take a moment to just close our eyes and step into that
Yes,
momentarily.
you're
And
so good
then
at
maybe we can share more about that. So I'm going to invite you
that.
to close your eyes, soften your gaze, just ground in, settle into that future persona, that future woman that you want to feel all those fabulous things that you just mentioned, Diane Amelia. Take a couple deep breaths. Feel that energy. Feel that aliveness. Feel everything has aligned perfectly for you and all of us. And what would that feel like? Hmm. Thank you. So whenever you're ready to just come out of that, I said that was very, very short, but it just kind of gives us a little taste of what that might look like. And now you can proceed, Diana.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
I think you had asked me how I feel, right? So maybe in just a few words, I guess the future self would be more content, definitely more healthier, and more self-confident, I would say.
Mm,
And
mm,
I think a feeling of accomplishment and a feeling that there are actually people waiting for me where I can
mm,
go and make a change in their life today.
mm. I
So
love that.
that's, yeah, yeah.
I got
Thank
goosebumps.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
That's fabulous. With ourselves, and I'm speaking for all of us here, with ourselves again included in that equation. You know, we're consciously and intentionally making sure the time for us is woven in there so that we do maintain and sustain everything you just spoke about, Navia.
And one of the
Thank
cool things is,
you.
one of the things you named, for instance, is confidence. It is perfectly okay to borrow hers until you close that gap,
Hmm.
because
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
still you.
I love that. The confidence of that future version of yourself.
Hmm.
That's really good. So, we're going to go ahead and move on. Like I said, we're trying to be very conscious of the time. Something you can come back to in the future once you step out of this master class, but something maybe even to journal about or vision about at some point in your day later. But we do want to point out that consistency isn't about discipline. It is not the way you're disciplined or not. It's just really has nothing to do with that. It's all about alignment and systems that you put into place to support you. So
And
we're going to dig into three old identities. Go ahead.
and these are these are personal. We have, I will own it. I have been here. And one of them is, I'm too busy to be consistent. I am busy. I am productive. I have responsibilities. I'm doing all the things. Um, these old identity stories are unconscious stories that continue to run the show. They're often inherited, outdated, um, and wildly persuasive. I know, and they are identities we can take pride in, but ultimately they they don't necessarily serve us. So to begin a reframe, the way to start is just notice when you get engaged with a story. I'm too busy to be consistent. Oh, I'm just not a consistent person. Um, if I miss a day, I've failed. I'm just not disciplined enough. There are ways to gently reframe these statements. These are limiting beliefs. They're false narratives. They're not facts. And to gently reframe,
And they're not
is
personality traits, I want to
yeah,
throw in.
exactly.
It's not a personality trait at all.
Yeah. So again, I'm too busy. Teresa, do you mind taking this one? I've got to
Sure.
do a little something here.
Sure. So as we said, it's not your identity. It's not who you are. It's not your personality or a personality trait. It's just, a story you're telling yourself. And busy is not our badge. It's not a badge of honor. But we want to reframe that to say that when my habits are aligned with who I am, consistency follows naturally. So there's that word alignment again. When everything's lined up with who you are and who you be, then everything else comes naturally and organically. And then the habits just become just an extension of yourself. So the second one, and we used to call these habits, old habits. We changed that to identities because they're just habits or ways of thinking, stories we tell ourselves. So the second story we tell ourselves, if I miss a day, I've failed. Or if I missed a day, I am a failure. Like I just, oh man, I missed a day. Oh, I don't even want to mess with it. Like, oh. And that, that's just like we feel bad about ourselves. We shame ourselves, whatever. If I can't do it perfectly, then I might as well just quit. I mean, we've all heard that, whether we've said it to ourselves or we've seen other people go through that. But of course, we're going to offer a reframe on that. But we do want to point out that the underlying belief is doing less than the ideal version means I've failed.
Yeah.
Nope, not true.
That
Not
all or
true.
nothing thinking can be really,
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
sticky.
And I know at least women, at least I do, set the expectations really, really high for ourselves. And when we fall short of that, it's like we really feel bad about ourselves. But again, we're changing that. We're getting rid of that identity and that way of thinking. So we want to reframe it to progress compounds through repetition. So it's the repeating, the small little baby steps, getting up and going again, starting again. Oh, I didn't do it today. All right, tomorrow's a new day. Or the next minute is a new minute. Every moment you can make a new choice and a new decision, any moment of any day at any point in time. But you just keep on going and you just keep repeating, as imperfect as it may seem.
Yeah. So you
So
can
that,
just throw up your hands and say, hey, done imperfectly and consistently, it's more powerful than done perfectly once.
yes, yeah. Just doing it is a win. Just getting started is a win. And then the third old identity we want to kick to the curb is I'm just not disciplined enough. Discipline can have a lot of different meanings to different people, but some women, take that to mean like, oh, I just didn't push myself hard enough, or I got to push myself harder, or I got to do more. I got to put in more time.
Yeah.
And that's exhausting. It's
It,
exhausting just saying it. Like,
it
oh
is,
man,
isn't it?
I was
I
just
mean,
just thinking about it.
do you feel the pressure of that?
Yes.
Completely. Yeah.
Like I said, not even actually living through it in this moment.
And
But
there's an underlying belief to that that strength means overriding my needs, overriding fatigue, um, or changing my circumstances somehow. Sometimes it just is what it is. And so a gentle reframe to that is true strength is in responsiveness, not endurance at all cost. And so we flex. We
so
learn that the strength is in our ability to keep ourselves on the priority list and be responsive to the way our lives change day to day. And as Teresa said,
yes,
minute to minute.
flexible. Yeah. Being flexible, being able to pivot, being resilient, being able to get back on the wagon, get back on and keep on going to get us to where we want to be. So we like to do reframing like that. We like to, because we all have these thought patterns, these ways of thinking, these old stories, and we like to bust those.
Do, don't we? So the new belief, I stay
It's one of our
consistent by
favorite
adapt.
things.
It is. It really is. I stay consistent by adapting my habits to my reality, not by forcing myself through it.
And I don't know if you guys are getting a little disruption at your end. I know I'm being told that my connection is unstable. So just as a heads up, I don't know what's happening at your end. But
So I think we bring
there's
we bring our responsiveness in here because there are so many crazy little things going on when we closed our eyes to do that visioning. My contacts have gone crazy. I can hardly see the screen.
well, and it was a little fuzzy too. I think that's because my unstable connection.
So
So it wasn't your eyes. I think it was the
no, it's
internet.
totally my eyes.
So
It's my contacts, completely janky. So we're just, here is a living moment. Are we going to flip out and criticize what this video is going to look like? No, we're going to roll with it. We're just going to say, yeah, okay, here we go.
oh well, this is real life.
This is real life.
So, of those identities that we just talked about, is there a particular one that you have said yourself, or you're repeating to yourself, or you're living from?
Uh, yeah, I think the second point was definitely something that I can resonate with. That once if I have missed it, I think I've failed. And
Mm.
then also sometimes, so I think that is the major thing that happens with me, because I will be consistent for a while, and then suddenly there is, for some reason, I won't be able to continue, and then everything just
Yeah.
drops down, and I won't be able to, and then I miss doing that. And then I find it difficult to get back on the horse or try to create that routine again. So, yeah, I think sometimes, and also the good point was that it is not equal to the discipline was a good thing. That sometimes I feel like I don't have the right discipline to maintain that consistency always, which I keep, uh, you know, criticizing myself for not doing it, for not having that discipline.
Yep.
Later on, I'll be sometimes also try to have that self compassion and say it's fine, and still do it no matter what. Yeah, I think
Yeah. Good. Good.
different phases. Yeah.
I feel that. I have, and yeah, it's just, I have felt that. And I know for me, it is the either or thinking.
Yeah.
I'm on track. I'm doing it right. I'm meeting all the bullet points, or fail. And
Mhm.
there's this whole area,
Yeah.
you know,
Exactly.
I know I'm a little off script here, but if you think about a black and white photograph, photographs that are all black and all white are not nearly as interesting as those that have a zillion shades of gray. And that's really
Good point.
where the beauty comes. And that is really where life is lived, in these gray areas. And so we're just, it's just not set up to be this or that because of all of these things on the gray scale where life happens. And so as we can give ourselves grace to be a little
Mhm.
toward this end or a little toward that end, but without judgment, maybe
Mhm.
noticing, but without judgment, that's the real excitement in the possibility that we can have a workout plan or do something on point and fall away while something happens and then come back and say, yeah, I'm just picking it up
Mhm.
Yep.
without.
Yes, I know. Because
Yeah. Yeah.
we're our own worst critic, even though we would not
Mhm.
treat our girlfriends or our family members like that and say those things, but we say it to ourselves, like,
Mhm.
oh my God, that's just, I don't know if we've been trained that way, programmed that way, or what. But so
Yeah.
I'm going to let you talk about Kryptonite, Diane Amelia, if you would please.
Um, is that a term you're familiar with from Superman
Superman.
movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So we've all got it. And sometimes the kryptonite comes in the form of if you have kids, whoop, kryptonite. Your needs are going right out the window because your kid needs something first, or it's a work responsibility. So I know, yeah, for example, it's like we just had the whole Christmas holidays and New Year's, and some people are like, I can't help it. I ate all the things, all the
Hmm.
things.
all the things.
all the things, and then get judgy about it. And it's a place where you feel like you have no power. I have been that person in the past, and I that's a tender one for me. Do you have a kryptonite?
I have multiple, but to say, I think on top of the list would be something when it comes to uh, finding that self or letting go of self doubt. I think that's my kryptonite, and always questioning myself: Am I doing it right? Am I doing this the right way? Right? Probably
Yes.
somewhere I'm also trying to protect myself from not getting hurt, but at the same time also doubting a lot of times, overthinking, and then sometimes not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Self-doubt's always been a biggie for myself as well. So totally
Yeah.
get that. Totally
And
resonate.
it's important to even hold the self-doubt in love,
Mhm.
because that's your ego voice trying to protect you. It
Yeah.
might be wildly dysfunctional, and but it's really, in its own weird way, acting out of love. So instead of pushing against it, just say, I see you. Thank you. Not today.
Yeah, I love that. Love
Yeah.
that. Okay, so we're going to move into how we can be more aligned with our true authentic self. Um, but we want to, and you'll have to help me out here, Diane Amelia, because I've kind of lost my train of thought on this, but not aligning or installing aligned habits on top of that old identity. Is that something we need to talk about here, or?
Well, I think it's absolutely a great entree into talking about our strengths. And um, sometimes, as Teresa was saying, we try to build habits on a perception of who we are without really having a look and knowing what our strengths are. And one of the strengths that Teresa has, like mad skills with helping women identify what their innate strengths are. And knowing those then helps you lean into those strengths as you find habits that feel more aligned. And in fact, the same habit um, approached through the lens of your strengths will look very different. And Teresa, I think, do you have a slide
Yeah,
for?
yep, I do. I'm gonna
Yeah, let's pop it.
pop it up here in a second. But I just want to point out that these aligned habits that we're getting to, that we want to really embrace, they're simple, they're portable, they're forgiving, they're flexible, and we want to align and match with who you are. Okay? They work with you. So I wanted to
Yeah.
preface that.
And a bottom line here is there is no one right way.
Right.
There's only the right way for you.
Yes. Yes. So we're going to look at these four different types, these four different categories of how people show up in the world, what's important to them, so that you can see that there are aligned habits that can match and fall into each one of these categories. Some women thrive on structure, others on flexibility, some on novelty, some on rhythm, but we want to make sure whatever one of these categories you fit into, it feels natural and it allows you to create those habits, create that consistency very, very easily because it just flows from and with who you already are. So we're going to look at each one of these individually. So a relationship builder is a type of person who loves other people. Connection is their priority. People energize them. That's what feeds them. That's their happy spot, being with people. And how whoever those people are, they decide who the right people are for them. So this type of a person, their aligned habits in terms of wellness and self-care could look something like this. Um, they love to walk, but walking by themselves might not feel really good to them. So walking with a friend, finding a buddy, finding a group would be a better aligned fit for them than walking alone. Like you just can't get themselves to do it. So knowing that they're a person that needs people around them, then inviting somebody else in to really help them get that movement in. In terms of nutrition, instead of like going and trying to figure out a recipe on your own, because you know that you're a relationship person or a relationship builder, you could possibly invite a couple friends over to batch some meals together once a week, couple times a week. Maybe you share the recipes with each other, and then that inspires you to go home and make the recipes. So there's ways of getting other people involved with whatever you're doing. Accountability. You just check in with somebody every day to see how each of you is doing. That is feeding into um, that energy of other people that sustains a person in this category.
I
The
love the
next,
reframe on this, that just that, um, and because I know I am in that category where connection fuels me, my wellness thrives when it's woven into relationships. And this type of woman doesn't doesn't really enjoy going it alone, totally capable, but it's just more fun and therefore more
yeah,
sustainable
more sustainable.
when it's in
That's
connection.
that's what we're going for, sustainability.
Yeah.
Something that you can be consistent with, something you can make it habitual, but it feels really good and aligned with who you are as a person. The next type of person we consider a strategic thinker. This person loves to plan, research, think about things, process things. Now, this person might do better walking on their own or doing their movement on their own because that's their time to listen to podcasts, do some thinking, really be in their head and do some visualization possibly in their own head, connecting with their, divine source, whatever. But this woman needs that time alone. So knowing that about herself, she can line up her habits and her priorities and her end results with that knowledge about herself. So she might journal a wellness routine or whatever, her goal is, her end result is. She might have an app on her phone that she can track everything that she's doing because measuring and tracking is important to this type of a person. So there's just different ways of aligning who you are with your habit, your end result in a way, again, that feels natural and really like it's in harmony and flow with who you are. So this
Yeah.
person doesn't need more motivation. She just needs a smart system that she can plug into. Were you going to say something, Diane?
I'm just wondering I know which one I am. Do you know which one you are? Of course you do.
I do, yes. I definitely do everything better with people. And that is what fuels me. But I do like my alone time. So I do know I need to have something in my day where I use my walk as that particular moment in my afternoon where I need that thinking time. So some of us kind of, I don't want to say we're on the fence here, but we're dominantly one particular way, but then we have that secondary way that is important as well, just not as important as that first way.
Well, it's like that grayscale, isn't it? We're complex.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It is. Yeah. Yeah. Lots of things, lots of factors and variables going on. But once we know more about ourselves, so the third type of person, third type of woman is a doer. A doer. She loves taking action. She's go, go, go. She's going to do it. She doesn't have to think about it. She's just like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go and do it, as Mel Robbins would say. So her superpower is getting things done in a structured, routine way. So this person loves that routine. You get up at this time, you do this, you get these clothes on, you do like it's just a very structured routine. This person thrives on that. They can check things off of their checklist. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, I got this. I got 20 minutes in here. Now I know I'm going to do 20 more minutes this afternoon. Like they're very, very planned. They know exactly what they're going to do when. So they might have like a standard breakfast that they do all the time. Like then every morning I whip up a smoothie and I use these ingredients and it never varies. It's always the same. I can depend on that. And that allows me to be very consistent and very structured because I enjoy doing that. So that's in alignment with this particular person. This person again thrives on structure. You know, she has simple, repeatable actions that she can check off no matter what else happens. During her day, she has her checklist that she can go check off every day. And then the fourth type of person, I like to call her a shaker and a mover, and she inspires other people, and she'll just figure it out as she goes. She doesn't need to be as structured, as routine as the previous type of person. And she could be the person who gathers a group of women together to go on a power walk or gather a group of women to um, do the meal planning and share the meals. And I mean, she would be the one that would be gathering the people together, the women together, and inspiring everybody else to do the thing also. And she might even do something as simple as put it out on social media. Hey, I'm going to be doing this. You guys want to follow along with me and hold me accountable? So she's sharing it out to the world. This is what she's going to do, how she's going to do it, but she's very visible and let's vocal, I guess I could say, visible and
Mm.
vocal as to what she's doing. She's not afraid to share it with others, and she gathers people who think the same way to her. So she thrives on enthusiasm and variety. She might be very playful and expressive, like me, like using this body movements and hands gestures, but she's very inspiring to other people. And that's what helps her stick with and be consistent in what she does for herself. So bringing other people along with her helps her create that consistency for herself.
Yeah, and it's important to emphasize that none of them are right per se. It's
Correct.
just what
Correct.
resonates for you, because as you recognize that, then you can kind of lean into
Yes.
those
Yes.
characteristics and help yourself toward consistency.
It's all about what's, again, in who you are, what's aligned with who you are and what energizes you. So I just spoke about format. I was very general. You know, I went through them somewhat quickly, but where do you think you fit in one of these four categories? Are you inspiring to others and you want others to come along with you? Do you prefer to just to figure it out on your own or research what you need to do and just go do it? Are you a person who's going to take the action and figure it out later? Or are you a person that really needs to have other people with you, supporting you and you supporting them as you're moving on that journey together? Feel free to share or not share.
Yeah.
Think about it in your head at least.
Nadia, do you
Sure.
recognize yourself in one of these?
Sure. I think while you were explaining each one of them, I could just see if I belong to it or not. And I think the first one, I used to be that, a relationship builder. With people, I used to get a lot of energy uh, being around them, and that would help me build something stronger, something that would make me feel very happy. But now I think I'm going leaning more towards strategic thinker, and I've always been a bit of both, I guess, but probably like an ambivert. But I think now I'm more into planning it, executing it, but I love my solitude as well. So I think I'm more like the person who does that planning. And of course, thinks a lot is definitely it. What I'm not is not someone, I'm like not an influencer. I'm somebody who can probably go or talk to you one to one in a more deep level than with the world. That yeah, that's different for me. That's not me. And when it comes to emotions, I'm more like a doer for sure. I'm like, if I want to make this person happy, I don't even think twice. I just do craziest of the craziest things that I can't even imagine. I won't sit and think. I will just go and do it. Um, yeah, I think those three did resonate with me.
Well, thank you for sharing. And you could be a thinker, a planner, the strategic thinker person, do all that, and then invite a few people in with you. I mean, that's always
Mm-hmm.
a way of straddling those as well. Or you just
Yeah,
vary it up. Today I'm going to go for a walk with my friend or do a class with my friend. Tomorrow I'm doing it on my own. So you can kind of float back and forth between the two.
yeah.
I
But
think
I
something I heard, sorry,
No,
Teresa,
please go
but
ahead.
something I heard that was really powerful is that's not me. When you said that,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was about the influencer.
Mm-hmm.
And that level of self-awareness, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to mess with that. You can
Yeah.
just say, yeah, not me, moving on. And then, lean into the things that do feel more like you.
I was just
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
say that. You just lean into what works for you, but you have to have an awareness around what works for you. Who are you? How are you showing up? What does energize you? And there's no reason you can't, jump around and float between them, but just knowing, having that awareness of, well, yeah, maybe I am a person that needs connection. I try that out and see lots of good stuff there. And we do want to reiterate, missing a day does not mean you're a failure. When you're adapting and changing and pivoting instead of quitting, like that's what our emphasis wants to be on, is being able to pivot and be flexible. And you're refining as you move along. You're trying things, but you're keeping the momentum going.
Yeah. And that really is, as we said before, refinement is the work
Right.
without
We're
judgment.
not going for perfection. Yeah, we're not going for perfection. We're going for progress for sure.
Yeah.
And
We
then
worked with a
please
woman.
share the case study.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I was just saying, please go ahead, share with
Oh, yeah. We
everyone this
worked with a
case.
woman, a professor, a mother, a daughter, um, and she just had pretty much thrown her own self-care under the bus. And um, she wanted to be good. She wanted to be a good mother. She wanted to be a good daughter. She wanted to be a good professor. And that, of course, we want to do our best, but wanting to be great at everything all simultaneously became her kryptonite. And she used her executor strength to build structure. And she locked in a couple of habits that, like Teresa described before, they were repeatable, they were portable, and wow, she has kept her plant alive ever since, and that's been well over a year. And,
Yeah.
we hear from her and she's just like, I can't believe I've been at it this long. But it's because she was able to identify what her innate strengths were, then use them to her advantage. And of course, because they were natural to her, things began to feel it came to her more easily without force. They were aligned. And that was the key to her success, her alignment.
Yeah. Alignment. I don't want to say equals consistency, I guess. They just kind of flow together in my head. And this is a quote that we captured.
Yeah, a couple of
Um,
quotes actually.
yeah. So I really, like the first one, I feel like a transformation has occurred. So she literally had a transformation in the course of our working, all of us working together.
Yeah, and recognizing my self-saboteurs, that's work we get into more deeply. But once you spy those little spies, it's
Those
easier
little buggers.
to step away, to deactivate them.
Yeah. And just kind of neutralize them.
Neutralize, that's a good word.
Yeah. So we just wanted to review I know we're coming to the end of our time here. We wanted to review a little bit about what we already spoke about. We talked a little bit about your kryptonite. We flipped some old identities. We learned how your strengths, we like to call them superpowers, can be used for consistency. Um, we didn't get too much into the core anchors, a little bit, but we did connect with your future self.
Yeah, and just to back up to the core anchors, we're actually changing our language a bit about that and calling them aligned habits.
Yes,
So,
thank you.
of course, we want to invite you to think about what aligned habits are for you. And does that mean, as you're doing your self-care, that your walk is with a friend to help you with consistency? Or is it using a tracker to help you with consistency? But having a couple of aligned habits that are really portable, and they don't even have to be huge. It's like, I'm going to drink water before every meal. That's an aligned habit. It's something that you can do anywhere. And at the end of the day, maybe everything is blown up, but at least you had your water. And that
Mhm.
helps you feel like you are consistent with your self-care.
Yeah, yeah. Doesn't have to be huge. Like I said, I'm a baby stepper myself. I like to do things in little small incremental steps as I move towards my end result and my success. Hmm. Go ahead, Diane.
Oh, just okay. Um, so we did kind of step into that future identity to kind of know that we can borrow her strengths, that by framing her, we have somebody to live into. And
Mm, love that.
I don't know, maybe just let's take a moment to reflect. If we lived from this identity now, what would change? What would your future self thank you for practicing? Thank you for practicing now. So let's
Mm,
just take 30 seconds to kind of lean into that. How can I take care of future me?
thank you.
And noticing even the intent of that care is already potent. It's like, I love me out there and I really want to take care of her. So that's going to inform how I make choices today.
Mhm. Yes. So we do have an invitation. Did you want to expand upon that, Diane Amelia, or I'm just watching that time. I feel
Yes,
like,
yes,
we
yes.
gotta wrap this
Happy
up.
to. Um,
So,
so our invitation is to Thrive Park.
yes,
And this is, first, let me say that we're always open to a one-on-one chat.
yes.
In addition, I, I think we have our links, right,
Yeah,
Teresa?
that's coming up next.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll
bueno.
show that here in a minute.
Um, we are offering a community for women, primarily over 50, over, at midlife and beyond. Of course, any woman is welcome. And we will be having an event there on the 29th. So we would love to invite you to join Thrive Park. It's on the Mighty Network, and it's a place for women to grow, glow, and connect. And Teresa and I are going to be having an inaugural chat on the
Mhm.
29th about all the wicked cool stuff.
Let's say the plans we have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything awesome that's going to be happening in Thrive Park. And we just want women to be a part of it. So,
And
why? I think I will send this as an email afterwards with the Thrive Park join link because I'm not sure
okay.
we have it here. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I don't think we planned for that.
Well, duh. So happy
But
to
yeah,
put that in a follow-up email
and I
because,
do want to, yeah, I do want to say, and thank you for remembering that. Mighty Networks, if you have not been on that platform, it is free to get your own account and then jump in, and the link will walk you through that, I believe,
yeah,
probably. But I
absolutely.
just want you to know you will have to create an account if you don't already have one. But
Yeah,
it's just an extra step. I have to have to do all these steps to
yeah.
get to into certain places. But once you're in there, you'll be able to look around and see the events and what's happening in there.
We're going to have a lot of free things happening.
Yes. So this is the QR codes. If you feel drawn to either of us and you want to have a conversation, that's complimentary as well. You're more than welcome to do that. These will take you to our links, our scheduling links. So we did want to throw that out for you.
Yeah, we would offer a 20-minute one-on-one deeper dive into an issue that came up for you today and also fill you in on working with us further. But yeah, we're happy to jump in with you on an issue you bring forward.
Yeah. And I don't know why my little toolbar is visible there, but that's okay. But this cute little dog is inviting you to ask any questions that you might have at this point in time before we send you off. We are a minute over, but I said we tried to kind of move through that quickly since we had a little bit of a delay at the beginning. So if there's any questions, this is the time to ask. And if not, that's okay too.
I don't have any questions. It was a great session for sure. Good.
Oh,
It was quite, yeah, it was good. Very good, actually. So thank you very much for
Thank you.
this. Yeah.
We appreciate your time for sure. We know you have lots of other choices and other options. So we
yeah, and
always
your
appreciate
reflections and
people that,
input.
yes, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. That means a lot to us.
It
We'd
sure
like to
does.
finish up with this quote that we just love. Um, the first step isn't always loud, but it's always life changing. And it could be scary. So as I spoke about baby steps, Start small, start scared, just start. And everything you want is on the other side of fear.
Yeah.
We all
And
want that.
amen. And consistency isn't something you achieve, it's something you actually become, one
Mm,
aligned habit at a time.
yeah, yeah. Those small baby steps add up, man. They can change the trajectory of your life quicker than you would think. So,
When you put a pebble on the pile every day, before you know it, you've got a mountain.
yeah, for sure. So, thank you so much. We so appreciate uh, Navia. We thank you again for being here. Everybody who's listening in on the recording, thank you so much for taking the time to do so.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
Do it.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now.
Okay, bye-bye.